Hey guys, Strange here. Today we just got an update from Battlestate Games, basically saying that patch 12.7 is coming out tomorrow at 1400 Moscow time. They said that nothing deviating from the patch notes is expected, so I'm going to talk about what is to be expected in this patch. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you in the patch tomorrow. Hey guys, quick little input before the video starts. I forgot to talk about the customs expansion, but I figure that's pretty obvious. It adds like 50% more map. Yeah, enjoy the video. Hey, what's up guys? Strange here. Today we're going to be going over the upcoming 12.7 patch, which I can assume will be implemented either today or tomorrow, so Wednesday or Thursday, maybe Friday, I don't really know. I know I'm kinda late to this whole party, but I wanted to think up some ideas and what I think will happen in the update, so let's get into it. I'm going to be improvising my thoughts for the majority of this video and just reading off my notes, so some of the ideas may not be super detailed. So starting off with the upcoming scav changes. There's a new scav boss named Sanitar, and he'll be able to heal other scavs and his minions and leave meds for them as well. Sanitar will be able to spawn at resort, docks, and cottages, and maybe a few other places. Scavs will be able to pick up loot like armor and guns for sure, maybe not armor, and possibly loose loot as well. The scavs will act cautious when they see bodies, starting to act more like actual players. Scavs will also begin acting more player-like, and it'll be more difficult to differentiate from normal scavs and players. Scavs could pick up meta gear from Chadman and dorms, meaning that insurance could come back more frequently. Basically, if they get meta HKs and slicks, they might be a little bit harder to kill. Bots will run in dangerous locations, such as running in the middle of the road to the other side so that they're not stuck in the open. They'll do things like mag checks and eating and drinking in peaceful mode, again starting to act like real players. AI will gang up on players who hold a position, kind of acting like a tagged and cursed mode as we saw in the dev podcast, which I'll show here. Now for some med changes. There's rumored to be a tourniquet with the new scav boss that he'll use to heal his minions. I'm kinda curious if we'll be able to use it and how it'll be implemented within the game, and maybe it'll like stop future bleeds or something. Now for the new weapons and ammunition. There's a new grenade launcher with high explosive rounds, shotgun rounds, and more. There's also a high explosive dual purpose anti-tank fragment and warhead round, which I'm not really sure what it'll be used for. I'm assuming that it'll maybe pen through armor or something, I don't know. And then there's also the buckshot round, which I guess will kind of be like a grenade, but rather than an explosion it'll just be buckshot. There's the Mossberg 590A, which we saw the new scav boss using in the teaser video. There's also a new 366 armor piercing round that Nikita said would have 42 to 46 pen and 90 damage, meaning that it'll be one of the only new rounds that will be able to one-tap the thorax with the new 85 thorax change, but I'll talk about that a bit later. There's new flesh damage 9mm and 45 ACP, one's called Quakemaker, one's called Hydroshock, and there's also a couple new FMJ rounds. There's a new 9x19 7 and 31 round, which is also an armor-piercing round that's similar to 6.3, but may have a bit more pen and damage. There's also an AP round for 45 ACP, which will most likely be similar to 9mm, but possibly with a bit more damage and pen. Now for the stimulants. There are at least 7 new stimulants, which will be obtained by killing the new Shoreline Scav boss, Sanitar. For example, there's the Mule Stim, which will increase carry weight, and some other skills. Speaking of skills, let's talk about the new skill changes. Surgery skills. It reduces the HP penalty and increases the speed of surgery, and maybe a couple other things, but that's mostly what it said. Apparently the new scav boss will be able to perform surgery on other scav minions of his, meaning that we may also be able to perform medical actions on our teammates soon. Rework of strength. Weight limits, increased sprint speed, strength of grenade throws and melees. The elite skill doesn't take into account the weapons and backpack weight either, so just your gear such as armor and helmets. Since they reworked everything, I can guess that hopefully the diminishing returns is either heavily reduced or entirely gone. Again, this is hopeful. A new report feature. A new report feature is being added at the end screen or the death screen, meaning that you can report the person who killed you. This will not ban people if they get enough reports, but it'll only flag them in the BattleEye system, and they'll be looked at further. I personally think and hope that this will help a lot. Now here's a big change to the gameplay. The 85 HP thorax. This means that sniping in its entirety is almost kind of gone, but only kind of. There are a few rounds that'll continue to be able to one-shot the thorax, these being 7-1, PS12B, AP20, and flechettes. However, the last two only being able to pen through level 3 armor and below. The new 366 ammo will apparently deal 90 damage and have upwards of 40 pen, meaning that the 366 bolt action may become the new Mosin. This doesn't mean that sniping is entirely gone, but it means that thorax sniping is pretty much meaningless, unless you get a fragmentation of course, but that's like a 10% chance. Now, for some optimization and fixes, there aren't a ton of these, but I'll go over them. We get some minor optimizations, such as the rendering of decals, stutters when grenades or thunder sounds, server performance, and other stutter issues. As for fixes, the valve with the buffer tube can no longer be folded, raiders running through doors are no longer a thing, especially on labs, the strange jerky animation in the hideout while shooting at the shooting range, miscellaneous UI fixes, the bug that allowed you to fast walk while overweight by spamming the shift button, the sound bug fixes, flea market changes, and then there's some Bitcoin farm changes, which they didn't really specify, they just said Bitcoin farm changes, so I'm not sure if this will be a bug that was related to them, or if it's maybe more of a how it works, maybe you have to put more graphics cards in to get more, I don't really know. Maybe that means that the graphics cards will now have durability, I don't know. The awful water collector bug is now fixed, and huge AI fixes, and that's more or less what they've told us to this point. Now, for some of my thoughts and what I think will come into play in this new patch. Sanitar's minions will probably be juiced up on his stims, as we saw some new stims, which will boost the player health up to 50%, or so I heard, meaning that the scav boss and his minions may be unkillable from a single headshot or maybe even 2 headshots. Pair that with scavs being able to pick up gear from meta players, from players who couldn't kill the scav boss, and those scavs may become unstoppable. And the players who died may get their insurance back a lot more frequently. I really do hope that the skills no longer have the diminishing returns, and instead they just give you less benefits, meaning that there isn't a huge benefit to someone who wants to grind or cheese to max level skills. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed my video. Feel free to subscribe if you watched this far, leave a like since that'll help the algorithm feature this video, and stay tuned for future news and highlight videos. Take a look at this video on screen right now, and I hope you guys enjoy.